guys, I'm ChezPride and welcome back to another Sims 4 news review type video. And this one is going to be interesting. And good news, we got a new patch update that has a lot, not as many as last time a few weeks ago when we got the 150 plus bug fixes, but still a good many bug fixes. And we are going to read through all of those and show off a few in game because some of them I just have to see become accurate and test out for myself. But I actually did not expect this patch update to show up this early. I was kind of expecting it for next week because last week they actually dropped a laundry list and I didn't make a video over it just because I was way too busy. I was doing good to get out the 2 videos I did, especially since one of those was a longer build video and I literally cut the footage over halfway down. So it was a lot of editing, and between everything I was doing, it took way too long to edit. I mean, to be fair, I had a full work schedule. I didn't miss a day of work. And then on top of that, I had 2 across state trips. So literally one that was a 3-hour trip away and was a day trip where I was gone all day and then came back that night. And then another one where I actually went to the state beside me, spent the night, and then spent all day traveling back. And we ended up having a flat tire and my mom's credit card got lost. It was a crazy trip. And then on top of that, there was Thanksgiving. I got my hair done. And then I also went to 2 different birthday parties. So my schedule had been very jam-packed, and like I said, I was doing good to get those 2 videos out, so I wasn't going to do the laundry list. But typically when they drop the laundry list, it's typically almost 2 weeks beforehand. They don't normally say when the patch is coming out, when the laundry list comes out. It just says soon, and typically it's 2 weeks. But this time it was just a week. So I was kind of expecting to make this video next week, but my next thing I want to talk about kind of explains why they decided to go ahead and just push this out this week, because we also have 3 kits announced for the next 2 weeks, as well as a new event coming right after. And I am not kidding. Almost all of them are SpongeBob themed. And I really, really wish I could say I was joking, because I never thought I would see the day that SpongeBob and Sims made a collaboration. But here we are with SpongeBob and the Sims. But we also have a new creator kit as well. So since they wanted to push that all out before Christmas, they decided to go ahead and put this patch out now. So I have a bunch of articles and just information pulled up here on the internet for us to look at. Most of them are going to be directly off the EA website under the Sims 4 news category, because I feel like that's just the most reliable and non-glitchy website to get information from, because the Sims team is literally posting directly on here. But we also have a couple of other tabs pulled up for us to look at. But the main article we're going to be referring to is going to be this first one here. And then we have a couple of other separate articles that kind of go into more detail about some of the things that are talked about here. And then, like I said, we'll be going over all the bug fixes, and some of them will be jumping into game and showing off. But let's go ahead and dump into this first article that is called Dreamy Kits and Updates. And this is the update for December 2nd, 2025. So my nephew's 16th birthday was today, which is why I'm recording this a little bit later than I actually planned to. So my bad on that. I also had a bunch of doctor appointments today too. So it's just been a busy day. So I don't know if I will get this up before midnight, but I'm not going to sleep until I get this video up. This is the patch update for December 2nd, 2025, and it just starts out by saying, Social Simmers, this game brings a variety of top community reported bug fixes and improvements across base game, plus new furniture swatches and quality of life fixes for your Sims. We are also excited to announce a new creator kit coming called Prairie Dreams by Miko, and then just says read down below for more. And then it also says to stay up to date, follow these 2 places on Twitter or the Sims Discord, or visit the EA forums to share any issues. And of course, we have the actual EA website that we're reading off of. That's also a good place for information. Like I said, SpongeBob. Literally, the first thing they talk about here, SpongeBob. And they don't even bring up the event in this. That is actually in another article. So we have 2 SpongeBob themed kits coming out. 2, not 1. 2. I feel like they could put all this stuff that is coming in these 2 kits together as a stuff pack, but I think they're going to try to money grab here, and I'll show you why in a minute. But before we even jump into reading about it, you guys have to suffer through this. If I had to suffer through it, you have to suffer through it. And this is kind of how they pretty much showed off the new kits and the bundle that they're coming in. So this is The Sims crossed over with SpongeBob announcement.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. SpongeBob in The Sims 4. The Bikini Bottom Bundle. Available December 4th.
Yeah, no, it's not a joke. It is straight up a SpongeBob SquarePants. Like, oh my goodness, is this the Katy Perry of The Sims 4? Is this the Katy Perry Sweet Treats of The Sims 4, but worse because it's SpongeBob? Like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say this now. I was never a SpongeBob fan. Granted, by the time I was allowed to watch Nickelodeon, I was probably a little too old for SpongeBob. I did get exposed to it somewhat before I was allowed to watch Nickelodeon. Basically, like, I was very restricted and protected by my grandma on what I watched. Like, I was pretty much raised on Disney and PBS Kids. Like, not only Disney Channel, but like Disney movies. Like, we had like all the Disney movie VHSs and whatnot. By the time I hit double digits, and that's about the time I was allowed to watch Nickelodeon, I already knew that SpongeBob was kind of stupid, and I had kind of outgrown it at that point. It's kind of like I wasn't allowed to watch Dora the Explorer, and so by the time I discovered what Dora the Explorer was, I was just like, I'm a little too old for this. But to be fair, that's not my fault. That was my grandma's fault. I did used to sneak and watch some stuff on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, because I was never allowed to watch Cartoon Network while my grandma was in the house, and she lived with me until I was 15. But I used to sneak and watch stuff on that channel, and I would have rather I spend my time sneaking and watching stuff like Rugrats and Hey Arnold and Invader Zim. That was the kind of stuff I was into, but I did have friends that were into SpongeBob, so I was exposed to it enough, especially after, like, you know, I started babysitting and stuff like that. I kind of had to watch it with the kids I was around. So I feel like I've seen enough of it to understand who the characters are and what most of the references are, but I was never a fan. Even at a young age, I was kind of like, this is kind of weird. Like, this is just very out there, and I don't know. Maybe I was just never destined to be a SpongeBob fan, but I feel like I almost have to buy these kits because I feel like they're going to be iconic. Not iconic in a good way, though. I mean, to be fair, pretty much any time the Sims team has paired with a major brand or a major name, it hasn't turned out that well. I mean, we're just think about the reaction to the Mac makeup, you know, stuff like that. Most of this doesn't go well, and most of the time when creators create stuff, like individual creators, that goes over well better. But this is like big name, which I know is getting them money, and I will talk about later. They're actually selling these kits for more than the average. So they're really trying to get money because it is a collaboration with SpongeBob. So a bunch of mixed emotions, because I mean, maybe if I was a bigger SpongeBob fan, I would be more excited about this. But I'm literally only buying it because I think it's going to be so ridiculous. I have to see it for myself. Like, I wouldn't doubt if I just uninstalled it afterwards, because I literally only want to buy it to show it off in a video to see how ridiculous it is. So we have the bundle kits coming, and then we also have a login event. So let's go ahead and just read what it says in the article about the two kits. So right quick, it says in this main article that they're coming out on December 4th. So literally 2 days from when I'm recording this, probably a day after I finally post this video, because like I said, I'm recording late at night. But they're going to be two kits, and they're in a bundle until March 3rd, which is actually my dad's birthday. So this patch came out on my nephew's birthday, and then the bundle ends on my dad's birthday. Lots of birthdays in my life here. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but if you buy both kits at the bundle price, you get 3 items that you will no longer be able to get after the bundle goes away, which we all know how I feel about temporary items. Like, I'm not a fan, but I don't know what to say. They're really trying to push this because I feel like since it is a collaboration, they want to get as much money as possible as soon as possible, because, you know, they want other brands and other names to look at them and maybe be like, hey, this is a good investment in the future, especially with the new ownership that is going on. They are really going to be pushing for that. And I'm not going to doubt if there's going to be more collaborations coming up. So they're really trying to push you to try buy this as soon as possible. But unless you're just like a huge SpongeBob fan or just have to see how ridiculous it is, I wouldn't probably suggest buying these, especially with the price, which we will get to in a minute. So we have this new article here. It says Sims 4 dives into bikini bottom. I'm ready. Attention SpongeBob SquarePants fans. Your Sims can now bring a pineapple under the sea into their neighborhood with limited bikini bottom bundle featuring the Sims 4 SpongeBob house kit and the Sims 4 SpongeBob kid room kit. So 2 kits, the vinyl player, just stuff to really make it look like SpongeBob's house. I think this is even a new sand flooring. So there's a lot here that's like directly out of the game. So it says, make the best day ever. Oh my God. Okay. I'm just seeing him marching down the street now. Okay, anyways. Channel the whimsical spirit of everyone's favorite underwater fruit home with the Sims 4 SpongeBob house kit. Simmers create their own version of the 124 Cross Street using the pineapple under the sea siding walls and roofing crowned with playful pineapple topper. Complete the look with the floor tiles and wallpaper swatches like sturdy steel cladding walls, bamboo block print, and sun-soaked sand. Yes, we're getting new sand flooring to give any home that ultimate SpongeBob touch. I will be shocked if they don't have the houses already on the gallery. But it says a steel hatch door, portal porthole windows, and the brilliant bubble vent add the final details to the finest of the underwater agriculture designed to withstand even the most persistent nematodes with rivalries aplenty. So this kit comes with the SpongeBob Diver, a helmet TV, the hook, line, and sinker side table, foghorn alarm, the legendary life raft chair, the I'm Ready single bed, which is SpongeBob's bed. All hail the magic conch. So it looks like we're literally getting the magic conch that he uses. Is it with the star dude? Oh my goodness. I don't even remember. The old heroes or whatever. The magical conch. Going on strike, recorder player, inflatable love seat, Banneker barrel chair out the door, and Fry Cook favorite dining table. So is this all we're getting? Because if that's all we're getting, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 items. If they sell me 11 items for $6.99, I'm gonna be a little pissed. It says including, so there may be other stuff. I'm hoping there's others, because they mentioned like these paintings or this little flower piece. So surely there's more than that. I think those are just like the main items, and there's probably like decorations. At least I'm hoping. And then the other one is this. And this, I don't know. I feel like it's a little better, but at the same time, okay, so it says soak up the fun with SpongeBob inspired bedroom decor. In The Sims 4 SpongeBob Kids Room Kit, Simmers can create the littlest fan's bedroom with SpongeBob-inspired furniture, toys, and accessories. From pineapple patterned pieces to character posters and playful accents, straight from Bikini Bottom, even the Krusty Krab gets a visit. With new replica toys, make sure to soak up the fun. So we have big stuffies like Sandy. There's a bunch of SpongeBob decals. I love the little Gary lamp. Not lamp, but clock. I actually really like that. We have another little SpongeBob stuffy. We have a Patrick stuffy. I hate how they match the show so perfectly. I mean, I know that's the whole point. It's literally a collaboration, but it's like, I don't know if it works as well with the Sims 4 graphics. I don't know. But I do like this little dollhouse here of like the Krusty Krab as, you know, a little dollhouse. That's actually really cute. I do like that. They have like a new bookshelf that's shaped like a boat, a dresser with SpongeBob on it, a new little... Okay, I feel like if I were to use any of these items more regularly, it would have to be the actual toy chest. Like the toy chest just with the pirate ship, and probably this bed here as well is probably like the two items I use most, besides like the SpongeBob doll. If this comes in all of the characters, I'm gonna be a little excited. But also, it doesn't, I don't read this in the patch notes, but it does show SpongeBob clothes. So I'm assuming it would come with this kit because it only shows them in this picture. So we have a Patrick shirt, which I saw the same shirt earlier that has SpongeBob on it. This one has Sandy on it. This one has Patrick pants. This is Sandy pants. This is a SpongeBob shirt, a SpongeBob pants. So maybe it's just like one outfit with a bunch of swatches is what it may be, what I'm kind of seeing here. Is that a new dress? That may be a new dress. I'm not sure on that though. And then up here, looking more at the wall here, so we have like a dresser again. We have the desk. We have another swatch of that bed. Actually, two other swatches of that bed. And it has like the imaginary SpongeBob with the rainbow. That is actually pretty much the only SpongeBob reference I use, but instead of going imagination, I go autism. Anytime I do something super autistic. Oh, it's here on the wall too. Yeah, the imagination rainbow. I don't know. SpongeBob and Gary plushies. I think this is a new art table. Okay, okay, is the plushie just all Sandy? Because I've seen two variants of it now, and they were both Sandy. I was really hoping it was going to be all the characters. I guess we'll see when I buy the pack. But what it says it includes, which it definitely has to include more in this, so this has to be just like the main ideas, is SpongeBob themed bed. We have a pineapple inspired study desk, activity table, nightstand dresser, and bookshelf. Okay, so we have a desk, an activity table, a nightstand dresser, and bookshelf. Got it. We got a clam-shaped task chair. Wait, where is that? I don't remember. I guess that would be that. No, it's that chair. That's clam-shaped. Okay, like that. We have a Gary wall clock and many faces of Gary light. We have SpongeBob and Patrick wall decals. There was other wall decals too, like the Krabby Patty being sold in by Plankton. Was that his name, Plankton? I'm not sure. I didn't like him. And then the Krusty Krab play set. So I'm assuming that's this. Kids will be sure to enjoy plushies of SpongeBob SquarePants, Patrick Star, and Sandy Cheeks. So it says the plushies come in SpongeBob and Patrick as well as Sandy. That's the two SpongeBob kits we're getting. But if that was not enough, we have a new little event coming as well. So this is a new login event. If you haven't been around the last 3 years, pretty much every time we have a new quarter, we have a new login event that goes with that quarter. And because this is the holiday times, they're combining SpongeBob and Christmas, basically like Christmas and summer vibes. I don't know, but if you don't know how these login events work, typically how it works is you log in, and it normally is 4 weeks, but it looks like this one's 3 weeks. You can do some activities. So you either go in a current save file or you make a new save file, which I'm going to have to make a new save file for this one. But you go in and then you play through some gameplay and you earn events rewards, and then after the event is over, those rewards will no longer be available to win. But if you won them in the time, as long as you get to keep your EA account, you will always have those rewards. Now, if you've been around on my channel long enough, you know that I'm not a big fan of this concept. I do like the idea of a login event, but I wish they would make it a scenario type situation where it was a challenge or something you could go in and do if you wanted to and earn the rewards if you wanted to, and it not be limited time. But they're trying to push the whole, people logging in and making sure enough people log in by a certain time. So I feel like that's the whole plan behind these login events. So I like the fact they're giving us free items that we have to earn. I don't like the fact that it's temporary. But needless to say, it's been several now, so I don't think it's going to change. So like I said, there's 3 weeks for this one. Typically they give us a couple of weeks over to finish it. So typically you have 3 weeks to get the first week will come out, the second week will come out, the third week will come out, and then after that third week you have a week or two to finish the whole event in case you didn't have time to log in when it was actively coming out. But it looks like in this one we are getting in the first week we are getting new headphones, a new beach painting. Is that a birdhouse? A beach birdhouse? I'm not exactly sure. And then some palm trees that have lights on them. The second week you're getting boots. You're getting oven mitts. You're getting, I don't know if those are gingerbread houses or bird houses. I'm not sure. Then it looks like there is a businesses and hobbies exclusive reward, which I don't like that because that makes it not completely base game and free. It means you have to have the pack to get that reward. You don't have to have the pack to do the event, but you do have to have the pack to get that reward. And it looks like, I don't know, it looks like almost like a mobile kiosk or maybe a credit card taking machine because it has the little pad on the side. It could be either. I don't know. I'm just thinking what comes with businesses and hobbies that has screens. So, and then we also have a new food recipe. Obviously, that's a Krabby Patty. Obviously, we have a new sweater that looks like it has SpongeBob characters on it. Comes in 12 variations. We have a new cat clothing sweater, which will obviously have to have cats and dogs to have. But honestly, it's been long enough that I'm happy to get any new pet clothing. I wish I don't know, I don't know how I feel about it being temporary, but again, I'm so desperate for new cat clothes. I will take it. And then there's a new holiday summer beach shirt. And then week 3, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oh no, it's a slide. Okay, because it comes with adventure awaits. Okay, so it looks like we're getting actually 2 new slides. So we're getting a new toddler slide and a new slide that you can attach to the playground, which is why you have to have adventure awaits. So it looks like we're getting new colorful twirly slides, and then we're getting the Void Critter toddler slides. Then we're getting a new telephone. We've been getting a lot of telephone, corded house phones, and then another magnet collection. So if you had the last reward login event, then you got a magnet board. And I guess these are more magnets you can have. It looks like it's a dolphin, a mushroom, a snowman, a glove, a bird, and a dinosaur. I don't know. I can kind of see how these tie into the SpongeBob theme, especially the Krabby Patty. But it's just like, I don't know, it's like trying to mix like beach and Christmas, and it's just weird, especially when they add in like the pack only exclusive ones, especially since they're all expansion packs, which means they're all $45 packs. I don't know. It's like you're getting stuff for free, but are you? Like, I don't know. It's temporary. Mixed feelings. Like, if I have to say, I like the headphones. I like the palm trees. I like the little slablet things that are business and hobbies. I mean, I'm desperate for new cat clothes, and I don't mind the slides. Everything else is just kind of random. I don't know. But it says, play the holiday login for a limited time SpongeBob items. What are the holidays without a little nostalgic nonsense? Celebrate, deck the palms with limited time holiday event from December 16th to January 11th. So about 2 weeks from now till January 11th, which, oh god, there's a lot of dates that are just hitting home for me. January 11th was not only my ex-best friend's birthday, but also the day my grandma died. So, don't like that. Anyway, players can now unlock rewards with Sims 4, including exclusive SpongeBob items such as a new Krabby Patty recipe, themed phone, and SpongeBob inspired color variant sweatshirts. So the sweatshirt are all SpongeBob. Alright. Whether you're collecting festive rewards to celebrate the holiday season or discovering special items exclusive to SpongeBob, there's an item for each simmer to collect during this event. I'm not really a fan of the holidays. I don't hate the holidays, but I prefer Halloween and Thanksgiving, and I'm not a fan of SpongeBob. So I don't know if this is really directed at me. And then again, we've already gone over the prices, but right quick, there is an actual news article on the event. So it looks like Jasmine Holiday is coming back, and it starts at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, December 16th. So that would be, I think, like 12 or 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So she is sending special gifts your way, like palm trees and colorful lights and collectible magnets to add to your board. And then it shows up close on the Krabby Patty secret recipe. Time to be the best fry cook, just like SpongeBob. Prepare yourself and learn to be scared and dark secrets of how to prepare your very own Krabby Patty. Just be sure to keep it safe, especially from plankton. Oh, I got the name right earlier. So here is just giving us a little bit information on those pack exclusive rewards, just like the pet hoodie and the ticket machine. Okay, it's a ticket machine is what it says. And then my big void critter child slide. So like I said, for those you need cats and dogs, business and hobbies and adventures await. But it does say if you don't own the packs currently, but you still like earn the reward, that when you get the pack, you will also get that reward, even if you get it after the event's over. So as long as you win it in the reward, you can buy that pack later and still have it, which makes me feel a little bit better about it, but it's still not my favorite. So it says, so many opportunities. Get ready for more goodies. This login event amps up Fun Festa by shipping weekly rewards drop for frequent surprises. And we don't tell Jasmine Holiday when she can and can't give us gifts. She's on her holiday. She sends them when she wants to. How do you collect Jasmine's gift? You'll find new gifts from Jasmine delivered on specific days. Make sure to check the schedule so you can log in these days to claim the rewards. If you start the event late, you will find some rewards already unlocked and ready for you to enjoy, but you will need to log in a few days to unlock these festive surprises. Oh, so it looks like you don't even have to like do any gameplays. It's like literally just a login reward. So I guess what I'll do is I'll probably make like a video over the whole login reward. Like I might wait to actually post anything about this until it's completely over, because like there's no point in me making 3 videos like, just logging in and earning the rewards and reviewing them. But if I did like all 3 in one video, then I could just do a total review and you guys would probably still have time. So it looks like the days that are unlocked on the first day, which is the 16th. Yeah, there's going to be multiple days that unlocks. So it's not just like a once a week thing. It's like you have to log in several days. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to do like one long video on this, but it does tell us what we're already getting. So that's why the second week was so much longer than the rest when it came to the rewards. I was like, how much more gameplay are they gonna have us do in the second week to earn all these rewards? That's why, because it's literally all you have to do is log in and just accept the items. Okay, on the 16th, you're getting slightly fuzzy earmuffs. Oh, they weren't headphones, they're earmuffs. Oh, that makes me kind of sad. Naturescape magnet board. So we're getting another magnet board the first week, as well as the playful magnet. So you don't even have to have the magnet board for last time. I didn't see the magnet board in the first week, but maybe I was just missing it. The second one is December 19th. So 3 days later, you can get the Happy Home mailbox. Oh, it wasn't a birdhouse, it was a mailbox. And the festive palm trees, which I'm excited about. And then it goes all the way till Christmas Eve on December 24th. You have to log in to get slightly fuzzy mountain boots, slightly fuzzy mittens, and stellar spaceship magnets. And then on Christmas, which who's going to have time to log in on Christmas, but I guess I'll make an effort. It says the lightest neighborhood library. Are we getting a new lot? Wait, I'm so confused. What do you mean library? Are we getting a whole new lot? I'm so confused. And Frosty the Snowman magnet. Okay, I don't understand the library. Like, what do you mean we're getting a library? Like, is this a rabbit hole that you could put on your lot? I'm so confused. And then the day after Christmas, you can unlock the Krabby Patty secret recipe, which honestly, if I had to pick any of these rewards, it probably would be that one, just because it's kind of funny that you make your Sims make Krabby Patties. I don't know. And then if you have businesses and hobbies, you include the Serious Business Ticket Machine. So I don't know if that's a kiosk or if that's like a cash register. Then it says on the 27th, so you have 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. All of those you have to log in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days back to back. And then on that last day on the 27th, it's the second to last day of those in a row, you'll get the Bikini Bottom hoodie and the Creature Comforts pet hoodie. So I'm assuming those have matching swatches, so you can match to your pet. And then the 28th is Holiday and Salani button up, so like basically a Christmas like Hawaiian shirt, which I feel like that should have been given before Christmas, but whatever. And the Chili Days magnet, and then the 30th of December. Is that the last day? Does December have 30 or 31 days? It has 31 days. So the second to last day of December, so the day before New Year's Eve, you can log in and get the cutest kawaii kiwi magnet. That was kiwi, not a bird. It was kiwi. And my little Void Critter toddler slide, as well as my big Void Critter child slide, but you have to have Adventure Awaits to get that one. And then of course, it doesn't say here, but of course with the Creature Comfort pet hoodie, you would have to have cats and dogs. And then on the January 2nd is the last day that you get actual rewards, and you get the Under the Sea phone, which I don't understand how that phone was under the sea. That doesn't look like an Under the Sea phone to me. Maybe it matches SpongeBob. I don't know. And then the pointiest dino magnet. And then the event ends January 13th. So it does give you, after the last day they put out rewards, it does give you, 11 more days. So almost 2 weeks after the event rewards end, which I guess makes sense because they normally give you 2 weeks for a 4-week event. So since it's only 3 weeks, technically, I guess that makes sense. That is everything we're getting in the events and the kits. And they do have a couple of questions here if you're interested in looking at this article. Like I said, it's on the EA website, but it just talks about how the events work and whatnot. We're not going to go over that in this video because I've already gone on a little too long about SpongeBob in this video. But that's pretty much everything SpongeBob related, thank goodness. But we also have another kit, which is a creator kit coming out December 11th, which is in a little over a week. So not this Thursday when we're getting the SpongeBob kits, but a week from that, we're also getting a creator kit, which I make the effort, even though I decided that I'm going to be more picky with the packs that I buy. And since the whole EA buyout, I do still want to buy creator kits, even if they're not something I'm extremely interested in, which this one doesn't look like one I would be really interested in, but I still really want to support creators because these are kits that are made by custom creators, and pretty much the Sims team just packages and sells it and like just makes it come to life. Like they give the creator, they make it do everything and then they put it in the game and sell it and just give them like one flat fee, and they don't even make commission unless you use their creator code. So I feel like it's always good to actually buy the creator kits just to support them, so you can use their creator code and they get a little bit percentage back of what I think they rightfully earn. Honestly, not as much as I feel like they rightfully earn, but this one is Perry Dreams by Miko, and it does link her Instagram. I'm assuming it's her. Her page was very feminine. It could be a them. I'm not sure. They don't really have their pronouns or any pictures of them. I'm just assuming. But this is a custom content creator for The Sims 4. Like I've said in the past, I don't really use custom content, so I don't really have a very wide knowledge of custom content creators, but I do support them because I think their work is really cool. I don't like having to take it in and out of my game all the time, and I'm very picky about how the graphics match and whatnot, so I find it easier for me not to use some custom content, especially since I have almost all the packs that The Sims 4 has come out with. So even though I don't personally use custom content, I still am a custom content fan and support the creators that make it because they work so hard to make these items. And I think it's really cool that the Sims team pairs with them because, you know, they're actually reaching out to the community and they're from the community. So they know what the community is lacking and needs. And these packs tend to fill in those voids a lot. So as you can see, they, or he, I don't know, has already posted about the pack. So this is the thumbnail for the pack. And it says, "The day is here. So happy and honored to insight to share this," and it says sponsored by EA. Perry Dreams Creator Kits coming December 11, 2025. The Sims has been my favorite game since I was a kid. Same. So this is a pinch me moment. Big thank you to The Sims for this opportunity and a wonderful collaboration. And it gives a bunch of emojis. So that's kind of their post about it. And it says here, it doesn't say here. It literally doesn't really give any information about the kit. But, you know, from what I can tell, it's kind of like almost pastel and muted tone, like kind of farmy clothes is kind of the image I'm getting from the like fancy farm clothes. Like Southern Belle clothes is what I'm kind of seeing, and it literally says Perry, so I'm thinking like life on the prairie and whatnot. Like I said, not exactly my style, but I really tried to support those custom content creators and show you guys how to use their promo code. So on December 11th, I will try to make a review over that. And now we have the bug fixes. Oh, the bug fixes. So like I said, it's not as many as last time, like not near as many, but we still have a good many. And I think some of them are good, especially because some of them are literally just like adding swatches to things, which I always think is nice. And some of the bigger bug fixes actually have been addressed in this. Not all of them. There's still so many bug fixes to be fixed, but you know. But I will say now, before I even get into the bug fixes, if you have not already updated your game, make sure if you do use mods or custom content to take them out of your game before updating, because it can corrupt your files. And then I would also back up your saves in your tray folder before updating, so if it does mess up something, you can revert your files back. I don't know, but just make sure to take out your mods and custom content, and if they're mods, make sure they don't have to be updated. Give your mod creator a couple of days to see if they need to, you know, update it or not. But sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, so I'll just give it a couple of days to check. But that's just my spill. I always try to remind you guys to take out your mods because it can ruin your game. So let's go ahead and read through these bug fixes. Like I said, a couple of them I actually want to show off in game, starting out with this first one actually. So this first one says child, teens, young adults, and elder Sims will once again no longer have clothing visible under their private mosaic. However, the cause of the issue is different for other ages. We're still investigating those incidents to hopefully fix an upcoming update. So it looks like if it's a toddler or younger, they'll still show. Basically what they're trying to say is like, when they go in the shower or they're streaking or they're skinny dipping and they have like the pixelates over their private parts, they kind of have it to where you can see the pink underwear. So if you completely strip out a sim down and create a sim, like they're in just like this pink underwear basically, and you could see that through the pixels. Now the pixels are just gonna be all skin colored, so it'll just show skin colored pixels, which is how it was more in the previous Sims game. I think this is a pretty big patch update because it's fixing this how many years into the Sims. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into game and show that off real quick, as well as just a few other things, and then we'll come back and actually read the entire list and we'll go through what every single bug fix is. Now keep in mind with bug fixes that they say they fix, and sometimes, most of the time they fix, but sometimes they'll break again, sometimes they won't actually be fixed, or sometimes they'll be broken in a different way. But recently they've done pretty good about having the fixes actually fixed, but we have to keep in mind stuff breaks all the time, things repeatedly break, so just because it's fixed now doesn't mean it's fixed forever, or it couldn't be broken in another way. That's why some of these things I want to go into game and test myself. Alright, so I just slipped into a new save file and just made a quick little family that was going to fit the needs to show off these 5 bug fixes that I want to show off in game. Yes, out of all the bug fixes we're about to read, only 5 of them I thought were really worth showing off in game, because I thought these were either the most important or the ones that I could show off quickly, so I wouldn't be like playing 3 days in a row waiting for something to happen, or waiting for maybe something to happen. So these are just a couple of quick ones I wanted to test out in game real quick. And since most of them, well, maybe about half of them come with Adventure Awaits, I went ahead and just placed this down in one of the houses in Adventure Awaits I hadn't played in yet, but I'm not going to show it off in this video. I'll probably end up playing in it and showing it off in another video, because I kind of remodeled a lot of the bedrooms to fit the Sims a bit more better from what I needed, including one room I had to completely redo because I needed a toddler room. So real quick, we have the Wolf family. If you like this family, they are on my gallery, and my gallery information is always down below. But this is Nora Wolf. She is a single mom to 2 kids. She has her little daughter Journey as well as her son Joseph, and they are going to show off what I want to show off real quick. So right quick, the first one, like I mentioned, is being able to no longer see their underwear in their nude. So if I just go ahead and real quick go to outfits, and what do you mean in front of a child? You are in a room by yourself. What do you mean in front of a child? You're not in front of a child. Hold on. I'm so confused. If I turn on cheats, testing cheats, it says we should be able to, let's see, come here, outfits. What do you mean? The child is literally not coming in here. You're not going into the child's room. Wait, what if you went into the bathroom? If you went into the bathroom, are you still technically around kids? Let's see, come here, outfits, change it. Okay, you cannot take your clothes off in front of the child. That's going to affect one of the next things I'm about to show off. I'm so confused. Okay, well, I don't know why she can't change it to the nude if the child is not here. What if I lock the door? Lock door for everyone. And then, let's see, now, if I play a minute, can you outfit? Still no. Okay, well that's interesting, because the next one is you should be able to change clothes in front of a toddler now, but we'll get to that one in a minute, because I don't know if that's going to work, considering that it literally says you can't take off your clothes in front of kids. But I guess since there's kids on the lot, we can't change into the nude, but we can shower. So we can go ahead and have her shower, and she will change into the nude so we can see her. And as you can see, it's all skin, no underwear, which actually I think is kind of nice. I think that this is how it used to be in older Sims games, so I think it's nice that they're finally doing it this way in this game. And yes, I know it's weird to take a picture of the mom getting in the shower, but it would be weirder to take a picture of the kid getting in the shower, right? So she's just gonna shower real quick. And this is for children and up, so the kid will also have this, and apparently the toddler won't. So we're just gonna have all our kids strip here. Is there a way to, I don't know if you can change your kid into the nude without taking him into the shower. I don't think you can. I know toddlers, you can have them streak and they'll go naked. But I think with a kid, you literally have to have them come take a shower. So right quick, kid, will you come take a shower for me? That would be great. All right. And as you can see, no underwear, just nudeness. And to compare, let's go ahead and have our toddler here actually come here, and can we take off our clothes? Okay. Are you gonna go shrieking? Yeah, take off all the clothes. It makes you run around. Are you gonna run around into the mom's room? Oh no. Well, that would be preferred, but because I need you to go into the mom's room next. But as you can see here on the toddler, you can kind of see what I mean by like underwear swatch. So you can see that like teal swatch there that's covering their privates. That would be like where their diaper is. So we used to have that on The Sims older than this, but now it's just like it shows their full nude. And I guess it's kind of appropriate that it's blocking out the toddler, but they did say that they would be improving that and working on that in the future. So we have that. And then like I said, the next one literally is that Sims will once again change the outfits in front of toddlers. So you can no longer be nude in the nude on a lot if a child is even on the lot, not even if you're in the same room, which I think is a glitch now because it didn't used to be like that, but now it's saying that you can change in front of your toddler. So let's go ahead, and if I just cancel the interaction, we'll put our clothes back on. Yeah. Okay. So let's say, what are you doing? Oh, that was an uncomfortable shower. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I need you to go here, bro. You're not needed right now. How about you come and play with a dinosaur toy, and you go back in here, and then also your toddler can go here, and we're gonna say like, oh, the toddler's in the bedroom, but I need to change into my sleepwear. So let's go ahead and change outfit into sleepwear, and she changed in front of her toddler. So she can change in front of her toddler, but she cannot be nude if there's a toddler or child on the lot, which kind of upsets me, but this is fine. This is fine. But the next thing on the list that I want to show off is the curtain set that we got the basically middle rod for. So basically when Adventure Awaits came out, we got a curtain set and didn't come with a middle rod, so you could make a rod across where the two curtains connected, because it was a set. It wasn't just one curtain that went over a window, and people were mad about that. So they came out with the little board, and that's happened a few times now. But then when they came out with the board swatches didn't match because the shading was off. So they apparently switched the shading on the board to match the curtain. So this is the curtain, and it comes in small, medium, and tall wall height. And this is the piece in between. So like these are well, it's not two curtains. It's one curtain that can be used twice. But as you can see, it has the rod here, and now it seamlessly matches. Whereas before, this piece was a little bit darker than the actual curtain. So as you can see with this one, well, they're not quite in order. I was going to say show off all those swatches matching, but it doesn't quite go in the same order because some of the wood swatches have more than one curtain. But as you can see, it has all the same wood swatches. Here's them on the center rod, and here is them on the actual curtain themselves, and they all match the tone. So as you can see with this first swatch, it goes through seamlessly. So I'm glad they fixed that as well. And now everything else I need to show off, I actually need to go ahead and go into travel mode for and go to the map. We're actually going to travel with our kid today. So stop playing with your toy. I know you just started playing with your toy, but I need you to stop playing with it. And we are actually going to go ahead and have you travel so I can show something off on the map and show something off on a custom venue. So first, let's go ahead and just go to the map by traveling. We'll travel by ourselves. We don't need our mom. We're independent. We're good. She can go keep care of our toddler sister. We got this. Apparently, we have an event that just started. Well, not now. Okay. But the first thing is really simple, but I thought it was worth mentioning, and that's that the icon for hold on, let me get my notes right. Was it for, yeah, it was for cottage living. So the icon for cottage living world now has a shadow under it, where all of these did have a shadow under it before, and this one didn't. So they fixed that. So I figured that was the easy thing I could show off. But another thing in Adventure Awaits with the custom venue is that when you were using the custom venues that came in the game, so like Camp Gibby, or, you know, the Love Island Retreat or whatnot, sometimes the custom scheduling weren't working. Like if it was like a preset custom scheduling and you just were visiting the lot and you weren't going on a getaway where you were planning your own custom schedule and crew and whatnot, they just wouldn't have a schedule or crew. So you go there and nothing would really happen, even though people were showing up. Like, at least it wasn't happening like the way it was supposed to. So now the custom lots will have fully preset schedules and whatnot, even if you're not going there on a getaway. So we're going to have the kid visit the Camp Gibby custom venue, and from there you can go into build mode and edit, like, you know, the schedule and like who the campers are and whatnot. They didn't have, apparently beforehand, if you weren't coming here as a getaway, like to come to camp, they wouldn't have the schedule, so you wouldn't see the Sims in the background autonomously doing the schedule. So it was kind of weird if you're just visiting just to visit, because you don't have to be on a getaway to visit a custom venue. You can still have a custom venue. So as you can see, we come here, the camp loads in. Let's also just delete this you and your phone thing. Like, I don't need that. So now if we go into build mode, we should get the option to modify schedule preset. And as you can see, now they have a natural schedule. So at 6 a.m. they'll have breakfast. At 9 a.m. they'll do physical strength. At 1 p.m. they'll do water activities. At 5 p.m. they'll do the campfire. At 10 p.m. they'll sleep. So they also have how many camp directors and whatnot, like, preset that way. So they have that if you don't want to make your own custom schedule, which is what people were having to do, which I feel like it should have been this way first. I don't know why it wasn't. I think they probably intended for it to, but I don't know why I didn't make it into the final cut and we're having to get it now. But now if we go into game, let's see, what time is it? It's like 9 o'clock. So they should do physical strength activities like on their own. So let's see what the kids go do. Let's see, this kid's gonna run this. Okay, she's playing on the playground. They're playing on the swing set. So yeah, I would say they're probably doing physical kid activities. I mean, that's pretty much what the jungle gym equipment is. So that totally makes sense. It's actually working. So that is good. And really, that, I believe, is the only things I wanted to show off in game. I know it wasn't much, and it probably wasn't. Oh, hello. You're just like merging into my sim here, Mr. Jace Lawrence. Can you like move? Can you, why aren't you moving? Okay, there you go. But anyways, those were the only things I wanted to show off in the game. I know it wasn't really probably worth me making a whole family for, but like I said, if you did like this family, you think they're cute, they are the Wolf family on my gallery, and that information is down below. So now, to finish off the video, we are going to go back into the patch notes and read all the bug fixes that weren't these and just kind of talk about them, and then we'll end out the video on my final thoughts. So we're just going to go down the list starting with base game, and like I said, I already did this first one in game. There is already, I'm seeing a few I probably could have squozed into gameplay as well. Like this one says the nature soundscape radio station will no longer wake up a sim when they're listening to it while they're trying to sleep, but none of my sims were really tired, so I didn't show off that one. And then this is also a teen related one, so I could have showed off this, but I would have had to make a cake, and then I would have had to age them up, and that would have been a lot of work, and I was trying to make the gameplay part very quick. But teens will retain their active aspiration so long as it's not a teen specific aspiration when they age up as a young adult, which this is something I have wanted in the game so long. So I guess I could have made a whole nother sim and done that, but then I would have had to add more room for a teen, and it just would have been a lot more work, so I didn't do it. But I am very happy that they did this, because it is so annoying, like especially in like baby challenges where it's like if you don't remember to look at what the aspiration was before you age them up, then you know you just like kind of had to try to remember or just pick another one. And I think they're making it to where you can change it if you want, but it's not going to automatically just blank out and make you reselect from going to a teenager to an adult, as long as it's not like, you know, the teen specific ones, which I think is a way better system, because most of the time, like, I want my teen to keep the aspiration into their adulthood, because that's like their dream and their like goal. And if they didn't complete it as a teenager, I want them to continue working on it as an adult. So it was always really annoying when they did that, so I was really happy about that. And then the next one we actually have pictures for, so that's why I didn't include it in the game update part, like playing in the game. But it says the armed living chair has duplicate color swatches. We didn't want to remove a swatch because that might break existing builds, so we decided to change one of those swatches to be a new variant. When choosing the color to go with, the artist thought this piece of furniture might nicely match with some of the Enchanted by Nature furniture in its style, but it felt odd just adding one swatch, so we added an additional 2 other variants, but then realized the armchair living chair was a part of a set, so we properly wanted to take those 3 variants to match other pieces of furniture from the base game. So in total, there's a total of 27 free swatches, 9 objects with 3 new variants each, and here is them listed. So if you're looking for them by name, and these are the pictures of the items I'm talking about. We have the armed living chair, the deep delight living chair, the cuttlefish love seat, the cuttlefish sofa, the armed dining chair, the Captain Roderick de Pablo dining chair, the armless dining chair. Oh my god, I'm gonna murder that. Kepahupad bar stool with back support, and then the same thing without back support. But these are the items you're looking for, and these are the swatches they come in. So we have like a light blue swatch, we have a red with like a light brown, and then we have like a tan with like a sage green, which are all colors from, like they said, Enchanted by Nature. So we have that. And then as far as base game goes, we have the main menu will no longer show the bunch of W's when isn't an active household to display on the main menu. And then Sims will once again change into their outfits and dollars. We tested that already. We fixed an issue where some moodlets and quirk notifications could occur for a young adult sim, so apparently they're having trouble with notifications. We fixed some texture issues with the industrial matter bricks faience with wood trim wallpaper when added to wall corners for 2 of the wallpaper variants. I wasn't about to go look for this wallpaper, sorry guys. But then also Sims without horse branch expansion packs will be able to get fear of horses, but this can no longer happen. So basically people were getting fear of horses even if they didn't get the horse pack, so that no longer is a problem. And then good and evil Sims will no longer mourn obsessively at gravestones. I feel like some of those weren't base game, but this is fine. We also have multi-pack. So we have a save corruption issue with the error code that was received. There was a clone sim that had a household status set incorrectly in our code. So we fixed it. If a household is in the state, it will no longer crash the game upon trying to load the game. If this error happens in other ways, new save files shared with us will be beneficial. And this is from businesses, hobbies, and get to work combined. And then if we fix an issue where scan sculptures were auto-generating on benches when it rained a lot, this is still occurring if the weather machine is used by the player, but we leave it planned for that instant in an upcoming patch. So this is with Island Living and Seasons. So I'm not gonna lie, I turn off the game or the rain in my game most of the time, so I would never have noticed this, but that's kind of funny. And then we have another swatch thing. So it said we made a change that allows gates with lanterns to have lanterns that light up around them. But so it's kind of a swatch thing. Sorry, I was assuming because it was pictures of gates it was a swatch. I didn't really read it too far, but apparently it's just making the lights more vibrant on these gates that have lights. So some of them are a Spanish Inquisition, which is base game, Wouldn't You Like to Know from base game, Maiden's Gate from base game, Barn's Door Double from Cat and Doors, and Cozy Craftsman Gate from Seasons. I wish they would have put a picture that showed these in the lights so you could see what the actual gate looks like. I know they're trying to show off like the luminescence of the lights, but I would have liked a picture under it to clearly show which gate was which, but that was just personal preference. And then Sims who dislike mischief or singing no longer autonomously will do mischief behaviors or sing, and that is base game and city living. And then Police Station, Foxbury Commons, and other work computers now are fixable after they are broken. That is Get to Work, University, and more. And then Tomarang Introduction will now fulfill the greet a coworker task in the doctor career. That is Get to Work and For Rent combined. And then fix an issue with a temporary stay where certain Sims couldn't be invited to stay over from a residential rental lot, which is growing together. So that is the base game and the multiple packs. And now the rest of them are pack specific. So we have one for city living. It says Sims in the social media career will now automatically meet their coworkers so that they can perform certain work from home tasks. This will only occur on fresh saves. So this will not impact old saves, but in new saves, you will be able to complete that task now with coworkers. Then for cats and dogs, we fixed a situation where it looked like you couldn't have more than 7 Sims in a household. This was because the household had an empty slot reserved for an adopt a cat story arc, and that the player couldn't know what was happening in the background. The story arc will now just wait until there is an available household slot and not prevent the addition of a new member of the household in the meantime. I was seeing some people online being like, why can't I add an 8th sim? And I guess that's why. We added timing restrictions on how often a pet can autonomously sport a poo-hoo bush every 3 days. Oh my god. So they said that they turned the frequency down in that 150 bug fixes, and we tested it and it wasn't really turned down. So now they have literally just made it to where it cannot happen more than so many times every 3 days. They put a number on it. So that is good, because every time they do that, they get sick from fighting the squirrel, and you have to take them to the vet, and it's a bunch of money. And then you come home and they do it right again, and then you have to just realize you need wellness treats. You buy a bunch of wellness treats, and then you go through them, you have to go back. It's a big pain, and it's all because you want the woohoo bush. And sometimes you need the woohoo bush if you're doing a challenge where you're starting from nothing and you have to build up, and sometimes you can only afford the bush, and if you have the bush to use as a toilet or a bed and your cat's always getting in it because you have a cat, then you're always having to pay bills and you don't have a lot of money because you're building it from nothing. So it's a whole thing. So I'm really glad they fixed that, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. And then Sims will no longer receive a text from their pet about missing curfew. All right. Then we have 2 for seasons. Sims are now able to travel between lots without season screens popping up. I was having that happen sometimes, but not all the time. And then children and teens can now donate on a computer when the Scouts after school activity. So that's good. We have 1 from Get Famous. So the Attend Drama Club interaction is now available as a self-interaction and on other household members when a teen sim is at a max level in Drama Club and is left for rehearsal. This interaction will remain for 1 hour and 30 minutes in game time afterwards to allow the player time to select it. All right. And then for codulating, we have 1. Oh, that's the one we already went over with the icon. And then high school years, the corn dog food object is no longer just a block model. Apparently, it looks more realistic now. And then growing together, we rebalance the mental fog moodlet to appear after 3 to 4 days of running hard worker career tone. It used to appear every 1 to 2 days after doing this. Thank God, because they were constantly getting mental fog and burnouts, and I was so sick of it. I really hope this one works. Then for rent, lines no longer appear on Sims' arms while wearing either the shirt, this one, and this one is apparently a stacked pocket shirt, if nails are also equipped. So there's a glitch there. They fixed that. For Love Struck, the male gallery Sims will no longer have high-pitched voices. Their correct voices tones will be used. This fix will not radioactive and will only affect future saves going forward. I do remember this happening a little bit when I was doing I was attempting a 100 bay challenge. Didn't get very far because I had some file problems, but did have that problem when I was using the dating app in that file like all the time. So I'm glad that's fixed. Life and Death have quite a few. So we have made a progress on children being taken away despite not being neglected. More investigation is required before we make the mark on as fully resolved. So this is somewhat resolved, but it's still being worked on. House parties and spooky parties have been added as visual options for the bucket goal. I want to throw the most bizarre costume party of all time. And then Ghost Sims will no longer appear as regular living Sims while in the Reaper career attempting to collect souls. So thank you, because that was really annoying. And then the mentor coworker interaction is available on a coworker while they are practicing Reapin on training dummy. And then also the Ingest Ambrosia interaction is now available to the Ghost Sims in the Reaper career. So a bunch of that was fixed. And then we have some more businesses and hobbies. So we have another safe corruption error code, and this one, a Simless Dead, a ghost, and a minute law not actively engaged by the player, which is causing a code around small business career to crash the game on load. We made it so that if a sim is referenced in the situation, the game will not crash when trying to load. So we have 2 safe corruption files so far. That's really good. And then the Succo wallpaper now extends fully to the floor when applied. So apparently there's like a gap. Then we added the missing purple vibrant swatch to the 8 doors and windows. So apparently there was like door or a window that had a purple swatch and none of the other ones did. So the Lang's door, the double arch Nordhaven style door, the single Nordhaven style door, the arched Nordhaven style window, the Nordhaven style portal window, the Nordhaven style cottage window, the Nordhaven style window, and the Nordhaven style glass block window now all have purple swatches, and those are shown here in this picture. And then we have Adventure Awaits, and then just a couple of stuff and kits that have like 1 each. But for Adventure Awaits, we have quite a few. So we already talked about this first one with the pre-made custom menus. But also we have the jacket, which is a pullover layer jacket, is now tagged as a masculine style choice option. And then all Adventure Await toddlers and child hairstyles are now visible if you remove the masculine and feminine style choice filter customers, which I did notice that was the thing when I was reviewing the Kratos sim in that pack, and that really did piss me off. So I'm glad they fixed that. And we already talked about the curtain rod, and then there's also a fleece curve jacket that was missing a fashion choice tag, and that's been added. So the rest of these are just like one little one. So we have one game pack, so it's vampires and non-vampire sims will no longer autonomously eat plasma fruit salad, which this has been a problem forever, like as far back as I can remember since vampires came out. So I'm glad they finally fixed that. Realm of Magic, another stuff pack. We have all variants of textures to display the logo of the ball properly on the classic apothecary cabinet, so there was like a visual. My Wedding Stories, another game pack which is severely broken. We have one, and we have fixed an issue where the exchange vow interactions become grayed out on the wedding arch even though the necessary sins were present for the ceremony. And then Paranormal, a stuff pack, or is that a game pack? I think it's a stuff pack. The Terrified and Scared emotion are now available in the sim stats. And then we have two kits. So the Greenhouse Haven kit, the air cycler van will no longer disappear when viewed from a different floor than the floor the player is currently on. And then the Autumn Apparel kit, the fingernails will no longer clip through the leather gloves. And that is everything. So that was a lot to go over today, from weird, bizarre SpongeBob news to a new event to a custom content creator kit and a bunch of bug fixes. We had a lot to go over today. My final thoughts, SpongeBob, I don't know how to feel about. I don't think you should probably waste your money on it. I'm going to waste my money on it just because, I gotta see it, but also I'm just a major sim nerd, so I'm not like the average person that doesn't buy almost every pack and whatnot and actually doesn't review them and whatnot. I review them and give my opinion on them, and I feel like that was just one that I can't miss out on. I don't think it's going to be worth your money unless you're just a major Sims and SpongeBob fan, which I'm not a SpongeBob fan. So I'm going to be looking at that pack from someone that knows some stuff about SpongeBob, but is not a fan. So I'm not blinded by the light of it being SpongeBob or whatnot. Then we have that creator kit coming up, which I always support creator kits. So I'll be buying that one as well. And then we have the event, which I will make a video, one video that's multiple weeks of me recording, and I'll put all the clips together so that you can see on the last day they give us content. I'll put out a video and show off all the content, and then hopefully you'll still have time to do it. You'll have a week and a half if you want to still do it, which literally all you have to do is log in and claim a bunch of things. So why not? It's free stuff. You might as well, even if it is some summer holiday, not summer holiday the sim, but holidays in the summer and SpongeBob put together. It's kind of a weird combination, but they're trying to grab that SpongeBob money however they can, because if they're going to invest in it, they're going to push it. And then honestly, the bug fixes I think were all pretty good. There were some that were really random, but most of them were actually decent things that needed to be fixed, and everything that I tested in games seems to be working. There is still some glitches I was seeing, but it wasn't any of the ones that were directly on this. All the ones that were directly on this that I tested were fixed, including the nudeness. So that was nice. So I always like when they do big updates. Honestly, this update, the patch, the amount of bug fixes that were in this update is about, in my opinion, the perfect amount to put out at a time. When they only put a couple out, I feel you could have done more. When you put out 150 plus, it's wow, this is a lot. I'm kind of scared it's going to be so much, it's going to cause so many others and break everything. And it's just so much to go over at once. And I do appreciate them doing those big updates and clearing a bunch of things out at once, because there is so much. But I feel this is still pretty big and a lot of stuff. but it's still like a manageable amount to go over and process at once without feeling like overwhelmed. So that's maybe just me being selfish and being like, hey, they just, I'm not saying they should slow down, but maybe just be more frequent and put not over 150 items in one patch update. I don't know. Just my opinion. And that is kind of my final thoughts on this. So if you made it this far into the video, I hope you found this video educational and entertaining, because that was the whole purpose, and there will be more reviews to come on all of these kits and events and whatnot. So keep an eye out for that. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff, because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. All right, bye!